In the heart of West Africa, a storm was quietly brewing, one that could have shifted the destiny of a rising nation. But Burkina Faso stood tall. On January 6, 2026, Minister of Security Mahamadou Sana addressed the nation, revealing that a deadly plot to assassinate President Captain Ibrahim Traoré had been thwarted just days earlier.
Before anything else, allow me to pay a well-deserved tribute to all the defense and security forces, to all the volunteers for the defense of the homeland, and to all those resilient and patriotic people who fight day and night to keep Burkina Faso standing. Thanks to their resilience, their determination, and their selflessness, Burkina Faso will remain standing despite all adversities. A swift recovery to the wounded, and for those who have left us in this war of honor, I reiterate the government's firm commitment to never forget them. May the free soil of Burkina Faso rest lightly upon them. This is an opportunity for me to congratulate and commend the highly commendable work of the intelligence services. Thanks to their professionalism, Burkina Faso has thwarted, yet again, attempts at destabilization. Congratulations to them. In essence, on January 3rd, 2026, at 11 p.m., an action to destabilize the country was planned. This was to be carried out through a series of targeted assassinations of civilian and military authorities, starting with the neutralization of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, head of state, President of Faso, either at close range or by an operation to plant explosives at his residence. Following this significant action, there was to be a subsequent operation to effectively disable the primary drone base and a direct ground military intervention by external allied forces. For reasons of confidentiality and also to avoid compromising the effectiveness of the investigations, we will only name the main actor. This is the former Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. He was given the key mission of designing and planning the actions, seeking and mobilizing funds, and recruiting civilians and military personnel. The military personnel were tasked with recruiting other soldiers and setting up action groups with clearly defined missions. And the civilians were supposed to mobilize the population, their followers, so that after the military action, they could rally their supporters to back the military operation. What is also important to share as information with the public is the sources of funding. It should be noted that a significant portion of the funding comes from Côte d'Ivoire, with the latest operation amounting to 70 million. I would also like to emphasize that arrests are ongoing, as well as the dismantling of these networks. In any case, and to keep the national public informed, we will provide the media with confession videos from the interrogations of some key actors. The investigations are ongoing and arrests are also continuing. All those involved in this case will be brought before the prosecutor of Faso, and the full force of the law will be applied to them. To the people of Burkina Faso, I want to reassure the population that the situation is under control. I urge them to remain calm. I would also like to commend the spirit of self-sacrifice, the patriotism of the people, and especially the vigilance of our citizens. This latest mobilization of the people to protect their leader, Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, is a testament to their determination to support the irreversible march toward the liberation of Burkina Faso from the chains of imperialism. I am also sending a message of national unity, social cohesion, and a call for increased vigilance to the population in order to strengthen the strategic watch in the fight against imperialism. This is an opportunity for me to call on the public to exercise discernment in their daily activities, to avoid becoming perpetrators, co-perpetrators, or accomplices in sinister plots and attempts to destabilize our country by reporting any such behavior to the numbers provided. I want to emphasize this particular point because during the extensive investigations that were conducted, many ordinary civilian citizens were also thoroughly questioned, as they were often quite naively used to innocently run various errands or to deliver important messages here and there without fully understanding the implications of their actions. And that is why I truly and deeply insist that the public remain constantly vigilant. Furthermore, that people should always exercise careful discernment in all their daily interactions and activities.
The coup attempt was foiled. What happened?
The attempt, planned for the night of January 3rd, wasn't just about removing a leader, it was a strike at the very soul of a nation rediscovering its power. This video brings you the full picture. What happened, who was behind it, and what it all means for Burkina Faso, Africa, and the future of Pan-Africanism. Because this isn't just about Burkina Faso. It's about the growing resistance across Africa. It's about sovereignty, unity, and the price of freedom. According to official reports, the conspiracy was hatched by a network involving both military and civilian operatives. At its center, Lieutenant Colonel Henri Damiba, former transitional president, who had previously been ousted by Captain Traoré in 2022. On January 3rd, the conspirators planned to launch a coordinated operation around 11 p.m. Their goal? Assassinate President Traoré, eliminate key military and civilian figures loyal to him, and seize control of the state. Strategic infrastructure, including a critical drone base, was also targeted. The plan was to dismantle the current security apparatus in a matter of hours, paving the way for a violent power grab. But the state was watching. Security services, already on high alert, intervened before the plan could be carried out. Arrests were made. Interrogations began. The plot failed. Perhaps most alarming was what came next, the discovery of foreign funding tied to the operation. According to Minister Sana, investigators tracked multiple financial transfers, one of which, totaling nearly 70 million CFA francs, originated from Côte d'Ivoire. This revelation underscores what many African nations have long suspected, that internal destabilization is often backed or manipulated from beyond Africa's borders. Whether it's through financial influence, misinformation, or covert operations, Africa's political independence is constantly being tested. The coup attempt wasn't just a local betrayal, it was part of a broader pattern, a global web that seeks to prevent Africa from rising on its own terms. Since assuming power, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has made it clear, Burkina Faso belongs to its people. Under his leadership, the nation has shifted towards sovereignty, anti-imperialism, and regional solidarity. From rejecting foreign military presence to strengthening ties with other Pan-African leaders, Traoré is leading a silent revolution, one that challenges the established global order. He speaks often of endogenous development, solutions created by Africans for Africans. He promotes unity with neighbors like Mali and Niger. He pushes back against neo-colonial dependence and emphasizes local strength. And most importantly, he's won the hearts of the people. In marketplaces, rural villages, and city centers, support for Traoré is not just political, it's emotional. To many, he is not just a president, he is a symbol of hope. Minister Sana warned citizens to remain vigilant, not just physically, but mentally. He urged the public to resist the trap of misinformation and manipulation. In today's digital world, coup attempts don't begin with bullets. They begin with rumors. They begin with doctored headlines, fake social media campaigns, and narratives carefully crafted to sow division and doubt. Across Africa, we are seeing how psychological warfare, subtle, invisible, and constant, is used to fracture national unity. The fight for sovereignty is no longer fought only on the battlefield. It is waged in the hearts and minds of the people. This failed coup attempt is not an isolated event. It is part of a broader struggle happening across Africa, a continental awakening. From Burkina Faso to Mali, from Congo to Guinea, a new wave of Pan-African consciousness is building. People are rejecting puppet regimes and demanding leaders who serve African interests first. Flags are being reclaimed. Borders are being questioned. Unity is no longer a dream. It is a necessity. This is the spirit of Pan-Africanism, a belief that Africa must rise as one, unshackled from foreign control, rooted in its history, and committed to its future. Captain Traoré represents this spirit, and that's why he was targeted. Burkina Faso has spoken, not in words but in action. The people have shown they will not allow chaos to consume their nation. The state has shown that sovereignty will be defended with strength and wisdom. Yes, there are threats. Yes, there are enemies. But there is also a deeper truth. A people who know where they're going cannot be stopped. Let this moment remind every African across the continent and diaspora. The path to liberation is not easy, but it is worth it, and it is possible. Burkina Faso has taken a stand, not just against violence, but against a system that has long held Africa back. As citizens of this great continent, we must stand with them, support truth, Support unity. Support African leadership that puts the people first. If this message moved you, share it. Comment below with your thoughts. And subscribe to Make Africa Great for more content that honors Africa's strength, struggle, and unstoppable future. Because Africa's time is now.